I'm going to go with random for the extra cash. But I do want to be a healer, so hopefully I get an intelligence hero. No.
We must act, leading the way.
Well, it is what it is.
Onward.
Even if I was going for, like, damage, this would still be a trash hero. This is basically the worst hero you can get.
As I thought.
As I thought. Yeah. Okay. Well, no problem. I'll go healer anyway. You can't stop me. So, I'm going to heal with 225 mana. Starting off with... Oh! You can't repick, I think. I'm sure it said something like you can't repick if you do dash random. Yeah. Imagine me reading more than you. Wow. That's embarrassing for you.
Trust in my command.
Get my auto clicker set up, even though I don't think I need it. I figure I'll have it just in case, so I can do this. So the way this map works is you select a hero, and then that hero will have their typical abilities. Some might not actually be there because they might be too strong, like Metamorphosis, or I think Avatar or Mountain King. And you basically pick those abilities and try to defeat the groups of monsters as a group of heroes. Heroes, champions against monsters. So I think it's lumber for abilities. I typically like to build the item, although I'll build that afterwards. So you can repick at any time. So I'll just get Serpent Wards for now. That's fine. It's cheap and easy. First few levels are pretty easy. No need to panic. Just kill them and win. Am I playing Cyberpunk or AC for Halo? Maybe. I haven't really looked into it, to be honest. So we're going to have a few tanks, ideally. Definitely at least a few healers, and then the rest DPS. I wonder if those Serpent Wards stick around. You can actually choose which hero you fight against, Kael'thas or Jaina. Now the Serpent Wards are removed. Okay.
Onward. Trust in my command. The goddess agrees.
It's a good idea to work out as a group who's going to choose the auras. So you can have one hero focus on like Vampiric Aura, another one on Unholy Aura or Devotion Aura.
We are poised to strike.
I guess I'll get Brilliance Aura.
I am vigilant.
Priestess of the Moon is going to need it.
The goddess agrees.
Did you manage to random into Priestess of the Moon? Or are you unironically actually playing Priestess of the Moon for DPS?
We must act. We must act.
It's probably best not to focus too much on an auto attack on this map, because you get so overwhelmed by a multitude of mobs. So I feel like casters that essentially do damage through AoE spells like Blizzard, Flame Strike, etc. Acid Bomb, that kind of stuff, actually are going to be most powerful. Mana regeneration actually isn't too much of an issue, because there is an ability called Devour, which actually belongs to a Destroyer, which is an undead flying unit, and it absorbs essentially buffs on the enemy and translates it into gold and... not gold, that would be great. Health and mana for you. So you can essentially get all of your health and mana back just by periodically casting Devour on the enemy, because you get a bunch of casters that you have to fight against. DPS could go cleave, yeah. I think if you want to have the easiest time, you just have a few tanks, 4 to 5 healers. And the tanks just have the taunt, they have like the most passive-aggressive sort of abilities imaginable. And then everyone else does DPS. So there are some strong abilities, like Volcano. It's an ultimate. but you can only level it up once. The normal abilities you can level up, you know, a few times.
I am vigilant.
I think we get another DPS ability. Thunderclap is always solidly strong.
Leading the
So if you didn't like the abilities that you picked, you can just choose to reset skills and it will give you 100% back. So you can basically pick whatever you want at any point,
onward.
which is very cool.
We must act
Level 3 in the Brilliance.
as I thought.
Hotkeys will sometimes intermingle, so you've got to be careful with that. You could play with grid. I don't like doing that though, because it changes my hotkeys for movement and stuff. Whoa! Well, Lady Fash certainly has a bit of a damage spike to her with the Fort Lightning. I got pretty aggressive there. There's no real punishment for losing, except if everyone loses. So as long as there's a few players left to finish the job, then that's good enough. You don't particularly get like gold on last hit, etc. Do Serpent Wards count as a summon? Yes. You can actually improve summons, as you can see, through their damage or their armor. The shame of dying is punishment. To be fair, that wasn't that shameful. I just basically had 4 Naga Sea Witches spawn right next to me and Fort Lightning me, so there wasn't really much of a reaction time to that one. I picked Thunderclap so I could get up in there and do some damage, but they didn't want to have any of it.
Leading the way.
So, for example, you might want to change your abilities because you got punished for that and go for Acid Bomb, which is a ranged damage over time instead.
We are poised to strike.
And then repick your Serpent Ward if you wanted, or get your ultimate.
I am vigilant.
I might pick Volcano for the lols.
My command.
So, you might think, oh, why don't you just pick the ultimates? Well, a lot of the ultimates are channeling abilities. And the way this works is you end up with quite a fair bit of mana, so you're better off having more active abilities to spend than one that you channel.
The goddess agrees. Leading the way. The goddess agrees. Leading the way. Onward.
Okay, this is going to get messy. That's a lot of dudes. Never seen a Priestess of the Moon cast Volcano before, have you? There's no transmute. That's removed. So I'd say ultimate spells are probably better off when you don't have that much mana to cast abilities. So it's okay at the moment, but Reincarnation is a free Ankh, yeah. Probably want to put the team colours on so you can actually see what's happening. Just wait. Volcano's got such a long cooldown as well, that's the other downside. I'm gonna kill the healer. Snipe the healer. Probably at least level 5 onwards, so you could start it soon.
We are poised to strike.
So, let's reset everything. Let's try being a pit lord for a day.
We must act.
Death and Decay seems really good.
Trust in my command.
Don't have enough mana for all of this though.
Onward.
However, one can overcome this, because this is a really good item to pick up. Not that one, this one. So ring, circlet, Sobi Mask would be the way to go. So you got some base items here. That'll give me a few more stats. And then these are recipes. I really like this one.
We are poised to strike.
Hello, Barb.
Leading the way. As I thought. Leading the way.
Hopefully I don't get... I don't know the AI actually sleeps you when you're using like a channeled spell or not. We'll find out. Yeah, they do. So that's another downside for channeled spells. Particularly really powerful ones. On a long cooldown. Obviously not all mobs have stuns or CCs, but there's a good chance that they do. So I think we do only have 2 tanks, which is a little bit shy. Oh no, Frostbite thinks he's a tank. Hey, it's my Doom guy. You remember that mission in the campaign where the Priestess of the Moon has to dodge the Doom Guards? Well, that's what happens if she befriends one of them.
We must act. I am vigilant.
Healing Spray is effectively one of the strongest heals in the game. The downside is it's channeled. And again, if you have enough mana, you want to be doing like Healing Wave, Holy Light, Devour. You want to be actively using abilities like all the time.
I am vigilant.
I don't think there's an anti-magic shell because these are hero abilities. Charm is good, but it's on a long-ish cooldown and you get one mob and there's like 400 mobs that spawn later on, so taking one mob isn't that impactful. Vengeance is cool. I think like one of the strongest combos is always like Drunken Hair's Breath of Fire.
We are poised to strike.
It's always good.
Trust in my command. Leading the way.
Got my recipe.
Onward.
Don't forget to get the spell block item, by the way. That's, I think, really useful in the late game. Should get Devour as well. So Drunken Haze Breath of Fire is one of the best abilities you can possibly have in this. I don't think this aura stacks, but it's a good enough item that I would understand if more than one person built it, because it's stats, it's health, and it's mana regeneration. So you're having a good time with an item like that. I'll get level 3 Devour in a moment. So I'm not actually doing much healing at the moment. I'm not sure how many healers we actually have. I'm just showing stuff off. Got at least 3 healers then. It might just stack if it uses the neutral fountain buff, says High Phaser. It won't stack if it uses the Witch Doctor ward buff. Well, then I don't know that. I'll show you the power of Devour magic now. The biggest downside is it uses the same hotkey as Drunken Haze,
As I thought.
which makes me sad.
Onward.
Lava Spawn, I don't like it as much as you would think it would be. You think it'd be good, but it's kind of hard to get them to proc as much as you want them to. In theory, they should be super good. Like, you could even theoretically have like everyone just go Lava Spawn, and some of them are gonna, you know, spawn into more lavas. I wasn't the biggest fan of how it actually practically was applied. In theory, good. Practicality, not so much. Incinerate could be really cool. But trash on a hero like mine, because I got a slow attack rate. That's why this hero is trash, by the way. It's because she's got like one of the slowest attack cooldowns in the game. So see all that health and mana back that went onto my hero. That was thanks to Devour. Devour's got like a really short cooldown. So all you really need to do, for the most part, is just survive the first, I'd say, 15 seconds without dying. Just try to mitigate as much as possible, and then you can sort of start to clean things up a bit. You need to give yourself some space though. Cluster rockets are okay, but remember, it's a channeling ability. There's a lot of Garifosses. Garifos fights for the Horde now. Fools, orcs. How are you, Dazza? How are you?
We must act. The goddess agrees. Onward.
So it's getting a bit more spicy now.
I am vigilant.
So I can add in a healing wave to use off cooldown.
Leading the way. As I thought.
I think one of my favorite setups for this map is basically an aura. Even better if you don't even have to pick an aura, but you know, you need at least one person doing it. Aura, Devour, Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, Healing Wave, Acid Bomb, and then the other two abilities. You have quite a few options, really. Whatever floats your boat. You could start spamming wards down on cooldown. You could go with an ultimate. You know, I wouldn't choose the channeling ultimates, though. I always thought if you was going to pick one, Tornado would actually be one of the best ones. I don't know there's multi-shot. Tornado slows down the enemy. And it makes it really clunky for the enemy to sort of like get in position. So it's pretty strong in that aspect. Oh no, we got Moradins. This is bad. Moradins with all the Storm Bolts and Mass Thunderclap. You can get chain CC'd on this one. Try not to get completely pinned. Give yourself some space to breathe if need be. So as you can see, mana's not really too much of an issue. So the more active abilities you have, the better a time you're going to have. Overclock seems upset. Would Devour take off the burning effect from Breath of Fire? It would take off the Drunken Haze. I don't think it would take off the burning effect though. But I don't know. It's best not to worry about it too much.
As I thought.
You don't want to debuff and remove, but at the same time it does help heal you. And it does also help remove enemy summons and the buffs that the heroes and enemy units have. So, you know, there is a counter to using Devour when you have Drunken Haze. But at the same time, you know, it is what it is, right?
More lumber is required.
I'm gonna go for the Amulet of Shield. Spell Shield next. Pendant, Gloves, Circlet. Gloves. So this can block a negative spell every 20 seconds. Gives mana and stats, so that's a good thing.
Goddess agrees. Leading the way. As I thought.
There are custom
Trust in my
Orc, Night Elf, human spells. Not too many of them are that good though.
onward.
Did we have Raw? Because Raw was okay. But the downside of Raw is actually that it had quite a long sort of wait to cast it again. So see all those treants just disappear. Overclock's getting so focused even though he's in the corner. I have to click on this one. So you can always use Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire in this corner, and then use Devour over here, for example. But if you just wanted to remove these guys because they're getting way too buffed, then you may as well just do it and not worry about removing the Drunken Haze. Again, just don't worry too much. It's better to remove the debuffs on the enemy than worry about them having your Drunken Haze. Even though Drunken Haze is one of the best debuffs in the game, it's an AoE curse that makes it so the enemy can basically only have a 20% chance to hit you. You know, they miss 80% of their attacks. It's insane. Healing Ward is useful as well. You can just set it and forget it. It doesn't stack though as far as I know. I'm not sure what the cooldown is. I like Acid Bomb as my like next ability to sort of periodically cast from time to time. Because it reduces armor, it does damage over time, and there's a large group of mobs to cast it on. And Acid Bomb is actually one ability that you can't dispel. Unless they've changed it. It's one of those broke abilities that actually can't be removed. A bit like Shadow Strike.
Trust in my command. Trust in my
Way
command.
more OP than Shadow Strike though, because it's an AoE.
As I thought. The goddess agrees. As I thought. The goddess agrees. Onward. Leading the way. As I
It's
thought.
probably worth still going random hero just for the extra gold and wood.
Onward.
So these are the human things. And control magic's kind of interesting. You'd have to have it on auto cast though.
We must act. The goddess agrees.
If you want to steal like the buffs from the enemy.
Onward.
Oh, is it me or has it changed? I feel like since I picked Acid Bomb... Oh, that's kind of funny. It really has actually done what I thought it did. So now, the hotkey for D prioritizes Devour magic instead of Drunken Haze. After I picked Acid Bomb, because it changed the position. So if I press D, I'm now doing it on Devour. Not on, so I have to left click my Drunken Haze now, which isn't a problem really. Shit, man! Thank you for the resubs for a year. Sick healing ward, bro. The tanks are certainly doing their job. Shockwave's good as well. Yeah, that's like really solid damage. Carrion Swarm, etc., etc. Although Carrion Swarm has like that cap, doesn't it?
For the goddess. As I thought,
More gold is required.
we are poised to strike.
I really like Impale though,
Trust in my command.
but unfortunately it uses the same hotkey as Healing Wave, so you got to click it.
The goddess agrees.
Who's playing the Lich? It's Nygaard. Frost Nova's very good. That was another one I liked because it slows the enemy and does a good chunk of damage. You could use Divine Shield, but you can't use a channeled ability after you've activated Divine Shield. Well, you can use the channeled ability, but you won't be invulnerable. Invulnerability doesn't work with channeled abilities, like Tranquility, etc. Unless it's built into the ability itself, which I think Blizzard removed.
Leading the way. As I thought. Onward.
You can see this is a good test for your melee skills, Ember. Is trying to sort of work out what the hell is going on.
As I thought.
There goes my mana. Good thing I got Brilliant Sword. Why did we pick Illidan again? Freaking mass mana there, man. And Metamorphosis to deal with. I'm coming round, this is getting clunky. Try to test if he doesn't die too quickly. He's going to die so quick. Okay. He lost the Drunken Haze. Did not lose the Acid Bomb. I haven't checked whether... Oh, do not pick Cairn. Cairn is like instant suicide.
We must act. Leading the way.
No.
More gold.
Trust
Cairn
in my
will
command.
kick your freaking ass.
Onward.
Because he's a Tauren Chieftain. He's a freaking MVP.
We must act.
He will utterly destroy you.
Leading the way. As I thought. Onward. Trust in my command.
Doesn't really matter what I pick here.
More lumber is
We
required.
are poised to strike. I am vigilant. The goddess agrees. Leading the way. The goddess agrees.
OP damaging items is probably anything that increases your damage, right?
As I thought. Leading the way. Onward.
Try not to insta-die. Attack an allied hero or something like that if you need to get back. I need healed and blocked. Bloody hell. Okay, I can start concentrating again now. What a beautiful mess. Okay, let's concentrate again here. So, Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, and then Devour. Oh, he died before I could do it. It's hard to test, man. come over here. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. He's still got the Breath of Fire over time, I think. So it doesn't remove the Breath of Fire as far as I can see. Which is really cool.
Strike. As I thought. The goddess agrees.
Has it bugged?
Onward.
You see, we got to level 13 before and the game disconnected.
Onward.
Oh, wait. Okay, there we go. I was worried because it's getting close to that point again.
I am vigilant. Goddess
So I got the spell block item. Probably just a reduction in damage is a good way to go as well. Has anyone got like the Death Lord shield? I think someone's probably got it. Just anything that protects you would be a good way to go.
trust in my
Obviously, you can still go abilities, but
command. We must act.
I feel like I'm spamming enough as it is.
To strike. Leading the way. Trust in my
Reincarnation is tempting.
More lumber
I am
is
vigilant.
required.
Oh yeah, mirror image is very good. That's true for the last round in particular. Because you fight against Rexar. And Rexar
The goddess agrees.
has
Leading the
a...
way.
Rexar has a Stormbolt because he's like the Rexar from the campaign.
As I can. Onward.
If you can't tell what's going on, then I can't help you really. It should be obvious really. Arthas is a pushover. No wonder he became a Death Knight. It'd be kind of cool if you had like a little DPS meter or something. You could see who was doing the most damage and stuff. Just pick Divine Shield for safety. Yeah, but Divine Shield also uses the D hotkey. So you'd have to click it. Wasn't it Rokan screwed us over before, didn't he? That's not an easy pick between Rokan and that.
As I thought. The goddess agrees.
I like mirror image because it's so easy to
Leading the
spam.
way. Leading the way.
More lumber is
I am
required.
vigilant.
Might actually swap out Shockwave for mirror image next turn. Or Impale. Impale's technically more useful than Shockwave because of the stun. But it uses... it's probably better. Right. I'll get the protection versus spells or something. No. Just protection versus damage in general. I don't think there is a protection versus damage. It's versus pierce, which is garbage because heroes have reduction
We
versus
are poised to strike. Trust
that
in
kind
my
of stuff
command.
anyway.
As
I haven't seen your item combination. Tricky actually getting back here to find an ally to attack. It's Mr. Pandaria all over again.
I am vigilant. Leading
Oh,
the
yeah.
way.
I actually quite like Mr. Pandaria. Okay, so respec. This is going to be the hard part, is rebuilding everything again within a short period of time.
I am
I'm
vigilant.
not even sure if we really need Brilliance or anymore, but I'll pick it anyway because it is still useful for the team. Oh yeah, thank you, Drake. So Acid Bomb was a good one.
I am vigilant.
I like Locust Swarm as well, but it's the other one, Devour.
More lumber is
We are
required.
poised to strike.
There we go. See, if you don't build the random hero, you can't really have that much gold left over for another item or recipe.
Trust in my command.
So let's say, for example, you want this, the Crown of Kings, just for extra stats. I don't actually want... I'll just take the reduction in Pierce, just because it's extra health regeneration and stuff. I'd rather a reduction in just damage, but... Spell reduction is okay, but if you're fighting first as Rexar, he's only really casting the Stormbolt. This one, yeah. So, Periapt, Ring...
I am vigilant. Trust in my command.
So, Periapt... I'm getting nervous now. Periapt Ring, where the frick was the item, man? Ring of Regen. There it is. That was hard work.
We are poised to strike.
I don't just get a couple of those or something because it uses up all the
We
gold.
are poised to strike.
Nice.
Leading the
Good
way.
item. Don't forget to use your mirror image, boys. Let the enemy take up all the flak. All my abilities have changed positions again. I'm mega blocked here. Thanks, guys. This is my life now. Just keep spamming mirror imaging. So much blockage. So little time. Finally, I'm actually free now. Thanks, guys. Jeez, man. It doesn't help because it's changed the position of all my abilities, so I've got to kind of rework this out. He'll gutter if he can. Yeah, Misha can stun lock as well. So try to remove those summons if you can. That's better. Finally. There you go. So yeah, it's about getting a good a group. So obviously tanks, healers, DPS. However, if you wanted to, you could always try everyone being a tank or everyone being a DPS or everyone going channeled spells. There's no Starfall. But mass volcano or mass death and decay or something like that. Or mass summons and then upgrade the summons. But this was a well grouped combination, so able to defeat it without too much trickery. Tyrell, of course, being a scumbag blade master type dude, just goes auto attack. getting his crits. You could be one of those players, but you're basically not as useful as the rest of us. You're just the selfish kind of person that puts themselves forward above the rest of the team for their own nefarious needs.